Okay, we got Euro Kiwi here. Euro NZD. So again, similar to Euro Aussie, been waiting to short this. Not yet, not yet. This is super invalid. You can see it is creating higher supports, right here, then right here. And, this is super bullish. Don't get me wrong, as of right now. Last week closed super heavy, like super full bulls. But as far as a monthly goes, I mean, you're in like wiki territory. So we'll see how this closes. Now you're getting into this area too, like anything above 185. I mean, I guess it's still about 200 pips away. So 185 is still quite a ways away. Maybe it's going to 185. I mean, it definitely could, but some things I'm considering now. So these would have to be adjusted if this was to even pull back. So we'll say this is 183.5. Oops, 183.5, and then this one 177. Yeah, so like that's 650 pips of range. And if you look on the monthly, this is what I'm looking at. So on average, it moves about 650 pips a month. Right now it's saying 644, but it's already at 639. So, and you can see you did have a bit of a wick on Friday. I mean, it's still overly bullish, and closed more than half the candle is a body. So I mean, it's still, that's still good. But now you're looking at this area here, right at 183, and we got a little bit of a pullback. So I mean, it could have just been a Friday sell-off. I mean, that's not super significant. We'll get rid of these zones for now. But what I'm looking at is like Euro Kiwi. It might still be bullish. I mean, I don't think the momentum's changing, and there's definitely no reasons to think that it's changing yet. But it's almost out of range for the month. So like if it normally moves 650 pips and it's at 640 already, well, I mean, it's only got 10 more pips of room. So might come up, might test this 183.5 level, and then just really, that would be like the full monthly range. Doesn't mean it can't go more than that. It definitely can, but just on average, it doesn't. So between 183, this yellow line here, and 183.5 is where I'd start to look for the liquidity to die off, just because it doesn't mean that it's going to fully sell off or anything, but just the fact that it's completed its monthly range. So then you might start looking for some selling off, and then you're going to target something like this. So this is kind of where the last previous area that there was, buyer support here. So if the momentum changes and it just kind of most likely just dies off, right? Like this can't go, it normally moves 650 pips in a month, and it's already done its full monthly move. It just happens to be the first 2 weeks of the month. So the next 2 weeks might be pullback weeks. And so I would be possibly considering jumping in on that trade. I would need to see a lot of momentum switch in this area. You can see it is kind of flattening already, but that's not significant yet. So I would need some areas to break for sure. This area here, I would like this moving average to catch up, this 1 hour moving average to catch up and price close below it before even considering any short positions. But then, yeah, if that all lines up, I would look for something like this. So this would be, first target kind of thing. Just to end the month, you're looking at just a retracement trade based on the monthly move, the retracement trade just for the end of the month, right? So, price starts off very bullish, does its full monthly move in the first 2 weeks of the month, and then the next 2 weeks it just kind of pulls back, right? And retests, all these previous areas that it's broken. So totally normal, and I expect that to happen. But then depending on how the monthly closes, I mean, if price closed, so this is prime example. So this is my area that I'm looking to, if price momentum dies up here at this 183, 183.5 level, it starts selling off and it goes down to below 180 here. This little zone here is where all these wicks are on the monthly. So if price closes below, so what could happen is, this is a perfect scenario. So if price if you're looking at a daily aspect, so let's just say, yes, price is super bullish. It's moved up really high. It's moved 650 pips this month. Now it's just pulling back, which is totally natural for prices to do. However, if price closes below this zone, this 180 level, at the end of the month, then that means that it closed with all these other wicks here, below all these, with all these other wicks. So, and you would see a massive, what would look like a normal pullback on the month here, and still relatively bullish. Obviously, it would just be like a nice little pullback to this 180 level. If you look at it as rejection on, rejecting this 180 level on a monthly time frame, then you're like, oh wait, and I mean this candle would be super, more than half of it would be wick then, right? If price closed below 180 here. So then you're like, oh, wait a second, on a monthly time frame, it really doesn't want to break above 180. So then you'd be really looking for momentum to switch. And I don't think the moving average would be caught up by then, but it might be closer to 177 by then. And then you're kind of looking for the overall momentum to switch, and which could be leading to the end of the month, right? So like basically what I'm getting at, is a very long-winded answer, is that for Euro Kiwi there is a potential that as of right now is the highest it'll be all year. Now, I mean, that's super speculation. I mean, do not take that as like a concrete statement by any means, because I have no idea. Like, I'm just basing it on things I could see adding up over time. So basically just price running out of steam, like it's moved at 650 pips as its normal monthly move. So step one, price runs out of steam. Step two, it pulls back its normal monthly range, no problem. Step three, it closes below the monthly resisted area that's been, price hasn't closed above 180 on the month since May of 2020. Actually, technically, sorry, right here, May of 2020. So I mean, it's been 3.5 years since price has closed, well, not quite 3.5, but over 3 years, price has not closed above the 180 level, so on the month. So that is something you have to consider. I'm not saying it can't. It definitely can. It could come down to this area 180 and completely rocket back up to 185 within the month. So it could be something like this. Right, that could totally happen too. And if the month closes like that, then yeah, we're looking for bulls, right? We're still bulls. But I'm just saying, like, keep this in mind. If this pulls back below this 180 level and it ends the month below this level, then steam might be running out for Euro Kiwi and the other Euro pairs as well. So that's what I'm looking for. That's my take on Euro Kiwi. I know it's not as conventional, and I mean, it goes against the grain as far as like, well, price is bullish and it keeps moving up higher, so buy it. But I just have a feeling, could be totally wrong. I'm going to play it by ear, day by day, and just see how this moves, see how the structure changes. And then if price starts crossing over those moving averages, the 4 hour and the 1 hour, then I'll probably take a position, right? If the risk to reward is good, then I'll take it, and I'll be confident when I do. So that is Euro Kiwi.